by Menachem to be considered disrespectful or rude. But I think they have for me, I have a couple of interesting things here. Number one, I'll be quick. Number one, I'm surprised at how puzzled Menachem is about how this movement spread. It really surprises me that it's something that he can't really grasp how it could spread. Number two, I think Menachem is a very special person, and I mean it in this way. He is very dati, he's very Torah believing, he's very Torah observant, etc., but he's special in the sense that he's making an effort to argue with me or to understand what I'm saying, whereas when I go to another person, I remember going to the rabbi that married Trisha and me, Rabbi Ginsbury from Hendon, Riley Close. You know Riley Close in Hendon, Northwest London. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Rabbi Ginsbury, I said to him, what do you think of biblical criticism? I mean, the academic subject. He wouldn't say to me, oh, I think it's wrong, I think it's rubbish, I think it's illogical. He would say, I don't bother myself with that stuff. And therefore, there's no opportunity for dialogue. But what's special about Menachem is he may even have the same perspective as Rabbi Ginsbury, but he's a decent enough human being that he's prepared to engage in debate with me. And that's what I appreciate. I like that. But to me, the idea that the Judaism spread when there were really new ideas, new concepts of morality, new concepts of how one human being, a concept that you don't kill your children for, some God or whatever, this was new. And the fact that it's spread, I say, thank goodness, or thank God for that. But it doesn't surprise me that a movement could take place. So I don't know how many hundred years, I mean, people have ideas of that, and I could read about it, how many hundreds of years later the Torah that we know was actually written. But it doesn't surprise me that, assuming Sinai and the revelation took place, that from then for the next few hundred years, people were impressed with what they saw and what they felt, and it moved them a lot, and they kept involved in the subject until someone actually wrote it down. I don't find it a puzzle at all, and I'm just surprised that you're so surprised. To me, it's there are movements all over that.
Are you surprised, Menachem Mendel, or you're not surprised?
No, so expected the same thing. Look, I understand, the herd mentality and the whole concept, and in those days, there were a lot of phenomena which people didn't understand, and they were searching for some kind of explanation, and therefore they believed in all these all kinds of strange things that people believed in. And I understand, people like Trump who are able to influence the masses, and whatever you want to call it, they're able to influence them to believe in what they believe and passionately stand for what they stand for. But look, we've seen it with Christianity, we've seen it with Islam, we've seen it with many of the big religions, we've seen it with communism, we've seen it with Nazis, we've seen it with many things. We've seen one individual get up there.
That's right. It doesn't have to be religion. It could be an economic ideology like communism.
We've seen one individual get up there and preach to the masses, or either through the sword or through the word, or even what Mao did in China, getting the younger generation to turn on the older generation. People have used many techniques, and like you said, Christianity. It was through the sword. That was, you either believe in Christianity or it's your life. That's what it was in those days. But Judaism doesn't have that chronological. It doesn't have that story anywhere. I'm just wondering. It has a very different story. About where it started. So that's my question: is Judaism has a story how it started that's been passed down through generation, and over here the suggestion is that maybe that story isn't true. Christianity isn't question. We understand psychologically how one person can impose it on everyone. But
let me just mention something,
Yeah.
and I'll turn it to Adrian for another few minutes we have left on our dessert session. I just want to interesting. I really appreciate you guys discussing it. We're so civilly and nicely, maybe because he was British, and that comes in the royal blood. You're so polite and elevated. For us poor Russians, Americans, like brutes, it's kind of very refreshing to see exercising the manners, Your Majesty, as British, I guess to say. But I just want to say, to clarify something for me, as you notice, I'm not interested, for me personally, I'm not interested in debate. When I ask questions, just in the future, so when I ask questions, it's
okay, all right, I'll come and see. All right.
okay.
Trisha's not well. I have to go. Yeah.
Should we? Well, we just let me finish on one point, and we'll continue next. Well, what I want to say, when I ask questions, I'm not. I sound sometimes excited and speak on the tones, and then they get impression that I'm debating. But actually, all I'm trying to do, I like to understand the person's view. So when I ask question, can you explain your view? Can you say that? Can you do this? It's not because I'm challenging. I just want to really understand. As an engineer, I like to know facts. Well,
that's fine. That's fine. That's how I like it.
Gentlemen, should we continue? So we'll let Adrian to go. Hopefully, Trisha's feeling better. Can we continue?
Yeah, I don't know what's the matter with her. She yesterday had an infusion of some medicine against osteoporosis. She doesn't really have it, but they did a bone scan, and so she had it. But I don't know why she's feeling unwell today. I know the real reason. She's on the audit committee, and Menachem will know what this is. You know, the United Synagogue in Great Britain, Menachem. So she's on the audit committee. So she sat there for an hour and a half with other muckety mucks from the United Synagogue discussing how the finances are being used, etc. And if I spent that time sitting there, I would be sick by now. So
I think as not as a doctor, I think it's maybe just a reaction to infusion happens. It probably will wear out in 24 hours.
No, other people, I don't know. I'm going to go and see how she is. But anyway, yes. Look, these things are not going to be resolved, but huge movements spread through different means at different times and with different depths of feeling and so on, and sometimes it's very hard. Look, Shabtai Tevet, whatever. These people came along.
So that was one individual. So that was one individual. So that I can understand. One individual I can understand. Masses,
well, I would say Kal v'chomer. If one individual can do it, 100 can do it even better.
No, not Jews though. Jews argue about everything, but they all have the same story. We all have the same story. We came out of Egypt.
Not really. You look in the Torah and you see that there are two different versions of the flood, and there's two different versions of the creation. There's not the same story, Habibi.
Gentlemen, let's have this fascinating discussion for next time, so we can tell Adrian attend to his wife, and I look forward for next Tuesday, gentlemen, 8:00 Israel time. Thank you very much.
Tomorrow, I want to see how. I'm going to tell you, Jeff will not respond to your video.
Oh, did you see my video?
Yeah, too rambling. You should make it more succinct. But
I'm hoping it wasn't offensive. As I recorded, I thought maybe
not offensive, but it was too rambling. And let me tell you, he will shrug his shoulders and say, "So what?"
No, but my point to him in the video is that the questions you're asking, I thought very good questions. And sometimes my main point is sometimes there is no objective to go quickly and get to the end of the shots.
No, there's not. In fact, I've got here my Talmud here, and I want to go over that particular one.
This is not your Talmud shelves. That's your cooking shelves behind you. You told us that.
No, I've got my Talmud.
You have a Talmud among the cooking books.
He finished all the cooking. Now he's on to Talmud.
You finished the shas of the cooking. Oh, yes, go on. No, I'm saying we have to. I just hope with Jeff sometimes we'll take time and answer questions like at least some.
I want to know how the ukulele is getting on. Have you got past Baba Black Sheep? That's
actually, I can play the chords for Hatikva.
Over the Rainbow.
learning yesterday a little bit from Les Miserables. So yeah.
Can you, for the next
And-
session to open up, can you play a couple of minutes for us for your little latest?
I'll play the chords of Hatikva. Okay.
We look forward to that. We'll look forward to that. Shavuot Tov, gentlemen. So talk soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.